I've had this guitar in from a young gentleman who is learning to play the guitar, and his guitar teacher has recommended that he have this guitar brought to me and to make it a little bit easier to play. So at the moment it's running, sorry about that, we've had this stuff ready. Let's see what we're on at the moment. At the moment we're on, put it into inches. Well, it's looking like 58, no, 52. Yeah, at the moment it's running 11 to 52. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that down to 9 to 42. So that'll ease the string tension considerably, which is a good thing. And also the quite heavy strings, what they're exerting obviously more tension. They're actually pulling so let's hold it this way and you can see if we can see it that way. You can see how the front of the guitar has been pulled up somewhat, and that's raising the action. So at the moment the action here is something like, I'm going to have to do this in metric, at the 12th fret is around about 250, 275 on the first string, and that's 3.25 on the sixth string. That is pretty high. So okay, well the first thing to do is to remove the strings. So these strings are quite old. Now I'm not going to muck about trying to save them. They're rubbish as far as I'm concerned. Well, let's have the pins out. The other thing I'll do is I'll take a little bit off the underside of this bridge saddle. That'll lower the action a bit as well. Lower that out. There we go. Do them like this so they don't try to unwind themselves in the bin. Okay, nice and neat. Put these off. Well, that string is really stiff. No wonder it's having trouble. Now, a little bit of cleaning up. I find this paintbrush very handy for just getting rid of dust. Like most guitar repairing people, I find myself spending quite a bit of time simply cleaning guitars. It does make them look nicer. A little bit of isopropyl alcohol. Just going to clean this fretboard up a little bit. You'll see the frets are just starting to wear down a little bit here. I'll see if we can get a close-up later. You see what I mean. I don't think I need to worry about them at this stage. But see this muck is coming off the fretboard here. This guitar's obviously been quite well played over the years. So I dare say the current owner has had it second hand. It's a decent guitar, a Yamaha APX electroacoustic, made in Indonesia, but that's not necessarily any bad thing. There's lots of good guitars made in Indonesia these days. This part of the fretboard will be a lot cleaner, of course. Let's get down here again. Hey. I think I'm going to use something different on the rest of the guitar. Just a little bit of this. There's a little bit of something on this fretboard here. I don't know what it is. It looks like a little bit of glue or something. Doesn't seem inclined to come off. Okay, so let's just have a little bit up around here as well. Just checking that these machine. Oh, here's a loose one here. And that's probably 10 millimeters. So just check. Yeah, 10 millimeter. Do them all while I'm at it. Yeah, all pretty loose. That's better. That's out of the way. Right, next step. A little bit of this Dunlop lemon oil. This fretboard's not too dry actually. It will definitely look nicer, feel nicer. A little bit of oil. I'm using my thumbnail to really push the paper, which is now pretty well soaked with the lemon oil, push it right up against the fret. And a bit more on. This stuff's pretty economical. I've had been using the same bottle for a good few years now. I'll use it pretty much on every fret job I do. Let that soak in. Now, I can take a little bit off this, but not very much. I don't know if I can actually, looking at it, I don't know if I can actually take any off. Problem is to maintain some brake angle across the bridge here. And, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try the new set of strings and we'll see what happens, we'll see what it's like. Strings I'm going to fit, these are actually electric guitar strings, but I'm not going to fuss about that too much. Basically, really the only difference is that the bottoms don't have that bronze finish. And obviously them not being bronze, they're suitable for an electric guitar. This isn't an electric guitar, it's an electric acoustic, but it doesn't use electromagnetic pickups. So, but I dare say when he's got a bit more used to playing the guitar, he'll be able to move up to a set of 10s. I don't even know if you can get 9s in acoustic guitars. When I fit these strings, I like to put a bit of bend on this part here, because what I don't want is when it goes in, I don't want the ball sitting on the end of that pin, which is inclined to do sometimes. Well, let's get that right in. Good. Okay. Oh, a little bit of, that's about enough, I think. Keeping the tension on this string so that I get a nice clean wind onto the machine head, the tuner. Get that off there. I don't like to see guitars strung up with all this extra string sticking out of the tuner, because that's quite dangerous to me. I seem to have missed a bit here. I like to put a little bit of angle on that hole, so that when I go like this, I get a nice neat fold where the string enters the hole. Bend that one up a bit so that the string will wind underneath it rather than over it. Keep tension on. Nice clean wind onto the tuner peg. Left a bit too much slack on this one. I mind it won't hurt if I have to slacken these strings right off to take the bridge out. Be a little bit cautious doing that. I don't want to catch one of the other strings. That snipping you can hear is just me cutting this long one into shorter bits, again, so it doesn't make a nuisance of itself in the bin. 6th string coming on here. This string's a bit of a stretch. I'm a little bit cautious doing this. They're particularly necessary with bass guitar strings and Spanish guitar strings, nylon strings. Right, obviously the action is still pretty high. Let's have a look at the truss rod. I find this very easy way to check truss rod, make sure it's not too tight. It's just about right actually. But we'll leave it for a day or so to see how it settles down. Yes, now need to assess how much I can take off this bridge. See, what will happen if I take too much off? These strings will start cutting into the rosewood in this area here, just in front of the bridge pin. Whoops, the pin's starting to come out. No. Yeah, whoops. Not seem too difficult at the moment. Excuse me. Microphone coming unclipped. I think I'm going to leave that for a little while to see how it settles down. Now it hasn't got the fierce tension of those 11 to 52 strings on. I might get a bit of, belly might possibly drop back a bit. But I'm not inclined to take any more off that bridge for the moment. There's a bit of dusting, so yeah, well that's obviously already quite a bit easier to play simply because of the lighter strings. Yeah, so I have to have a little think about that bridge, decide whether it's the right thing to do to take some off it or not. I think I'm probably going to have to. Yeah, that's it for the moment. Okay. I've taken the bridge out of the guitar and I've been out to my main workshop, where I do woodwork, to take most of I described the line very carefully along the edge here, and I removed quite a bit of the material with the belt sander, so I brought it back in here, and what I need to do now is to make sure that I've got this bottom nice and flat. So I've got a flat piece of board here with a piece of coarse sandpaper on it. I'll take a little bit off now. Just see, holding that up to the light against a straight edge, just need to take a bit more off. It's important with electroacoustics especially to try to keep the pressure even on the transducer strip, which is underneath this. Because if one of them is pressing down harder than another, just having a look at my, pressing down harder than another, then those strings will be louder. I wouldn't really want that. Okay, that is now nice and straight. And we've removed around about 1 millimetre off the bottom of that. As you can see, I had to slacken off some strings to do that. In this overhead camera you should be able to see there's the piezoelectric strip, which acts as a transducer for when you're using it as an electroacoustic. Just slide that back under. Let's get these, make sure I don't get these tangled. This one is trying to sit on the end of the pin. Just bend it around a little bit more. There we go, that one went through. I knew I might have to slacken these strings off, which is the reason why back a little bit, which is the reason why I made sure I had plenty of slack on the tuners when I put the strings on. Let's tighten all these up and see how we... Let's see how we're doing here. little more tuning need. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, it's more comfortable to. Let's have a look at what this has done for the action. Well, funnily enough, it's brought it down more than I thought it would. We're down to about 1.75 on the 6th string, down to, let's try and get the light on, just touch over 2. That's very satisfactory. I'm very happy with that. Okay, well that guitar basically is done. The customer won't be picking it up for a couple of days, so I'll be able to bring the tuning up to the correct pitch. And that whole job at the moment will cost them £35. It's including the strings. And I think isn't a bad price. Lovely. Well, thanks for watching that. Hope it was of some use. Okay, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.